Hey there, introverts and deep thinkers. Welcome to Introverts Unmuted, the podcast where we prove that quiet doesn't mean invisible and deep thoughts deserve a mic. If you've ever felt drained by small talk, mastered the art of sneaking out of the room, or wished the world understood the magic of solitude, this is your space. We dive into everything from navigating social energy to embracing creativity, confidence, and the unique power of being an introvert. So get comfy, plug in, and let's turn up the volume on our quiet confidence. I'm Amber Hansel, and this is Introverts Unmuted. Today, I have with me Anna. Thank you for coming. She is a certified career coach, LinkedIn strategist, a LinkedIn learning instructor, and a speaker. She has so many years of experience, and I'm so happy to have you here. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So, what got you into this space of LinkedIn and really becoming a strategist and realizing that you can help introverts in this space?
Sure. So my background's in HR. I have done, lots of different jobs. I was in corporate America for more than 10 years. I had a lot of experience in my home country of Brazil. So I've always helped people with career, either like resume, preparing for interviews, as I was doing my corporate job. So after I had like a health issues going on, I decided that it was time to maybe figure out something that I wanted to do on my own. And one of the things that, I was already doing was like reading a lot of career books and things like that. I was like, you know what? I have the HR experience. I have the background. Why not? And then I talked to other career coaches and learn more, took certifications and things like that. And that's when I started to open my business. That was back in 2021. So, if you are listening to this or watching this and you are a business owner, you understand that sometimes you will start one way, but as you start getting your clients and listening to their pain points and things like that, you understand that there might be something missing in the market. And that's where I landed to what I've been doing right now, what I do today, which is basically LinkedIn for introverts. Most of my clients are people who are seeking corporate jobs, full-time corporate jobs. They're not necessarily business owners, but if you're here with us, you are going to get tips that also apply for business to business, for people trying to find clients on LinkedIn. But yeah, I speak directly to introverts because I am one. And a lot of my clients are introverts, and they often come to me because they're overwhelmed as soon as they log in on LinkedIn and they don't know what to do. So I start seeing that pattern. And that's how I landed. You know what? Why not help people like me, people who are introverts trying to navigate this platform that it's very, very loud. As soon as you open LinkedIn, you see the feed and the videos and the ads and all the different things. And it's like, what do I do first? People don't even know what to do first. And LinkedIn is a very important platform if you are job searching, or I would say too, if you have a business, because LinkedIn is very business to business, B2B. And, there are even like a specific part of the business on LinkedIn, which is, Sales Navigator and things like that. These are subscriptions that you can buy that are specific for business owners. So that's kind of how I end up, just talking about LinkedIn. I have a certification. So, that's how I create these beautiful profiles. Most of my clients are people seeking corporate jobs, but, the tips that I'm going to give, they apply for pretty much anyone who wants to be on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I love that you navigated towards LinkedIn, especially for those going into corporate. I think that is great. And as well for businesses. And it can feel so loud. And I know video is starting to really overtake LinkedIn right now. And it's like, well, it's everywhere. And sometimes I just want to post a text, or I just want to, what do I see on the feed? Are these people I follow? What are these? There's so much terminology within LinkedIn. So say someone's jumping on, or maybe they have a profile and they are going, Kate, what is something I can do to refresh and get back up on my LinkedIn? Because it's like a wave. People are like, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm going hard, and then they disappear. And it's like the sustainability isn't there.
Yeah, and I feel like the first thing, as soon as you decide that you want to be on LinkedIn, the first thing you need to know is, what is your goal? What is the focus? What do you want to do on that platform? Because everybody has an agenda, meaning you're going to see a lot of people there selling all sorts of things. And they're going to be the people, sometimes selling job seekers, for example. You need to post every day. You need to be active. You need to be engaging 1 hour, 2 hours a day. And that's very overwhelming. And for the people I work with, I do not teach those strategies, because to me, they don't work if your goal is to be on LinkedIn job searching. If you are a business owner, still, I don't think you should spend hours and hours and hours on LinkedIn every day. I think you have to be very focused. Who is your audience? Who are you trying to reach? Then you create content specifically for those people. And then maybe you create a list of people you want to follow, you want to engage with. And then you spend, a couple minutes, maybe half an hour, if that's your goal, trying to reach those people on the platform, instead of just going on and like commenting and like posting all the time, because that backfires. That doesn't work. That might work for people with a very large following, because no matter what they post, people are going to engage, just because, I don't know, there's always that. It's almost like people are under a spell that they feel like they need to engage and interact with the big accounts. But I feel like if your goal is to reach your audience, or trying to, build an audience on LinkedIn or job search on LinkedIn, I think consistency is best than posting all the time, engaging all the time. It's more like, okay, do I have 10 minutes every day just to like follow a couple people, or, hit a like button or comment, or maybe post once or twice a week? Good. But create a strategy and be very specific, and focus, because it's very easy to spend half an hour there and then be like, oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And half an hour goes by, and you're just like doing a lot of things that are not moving the needle. They're not doing anything for you.
Yeah, it's so easy to get distracted in what it is. And I like how you talked about focusing, and that the consistency isn't an everyday for many hours, is a focused intentionality of going and saying, what do I want to achieve on this platform? Is it awareness? Is it searching for a job? Is it connecting with people? What really is that goal? So I really enjoy hearing that it's not just, smashing it out for hours at a time, because that is not sustainable on any platform for anything.
No, I agree. And especially for introverts, I would say, because I feel like for us, our energy is limited. It doesn't matter if it's online, it doesn't matter if it's in person. It's still, when you are online, you are interacting with people, and like LinkedIn is social media, is a search engine, is a career website, is a networking platform, is basically an applicant tracking system. They have all the things built in one place. So I feel like for us, even for me, like the whole engagement, because you have to engage, especially if you are a business owner, I will say it's important to engage with your audience. Even let's say you post, make sure that if people comment, that you're going to reply to that comment. Or maybe you engage with other people, in your industry. Like I engage with a lot of recruiters, career coaches, because they're all like in my industry. But I will say this, it's very draining when you spend like half an hour, even longer, on the platform, just engaging with people, because you are still interacting. That's still interaction. That's still energy typing those comments. That's still energy staring at the screen. So I will say, like, try to protect your energy in that sense that, okay, before you even log in, just think, okay, I'm going to log in on LinkedIn. And even if you need to write something down, this is what I want to do right now. And I have 10 minutes. Let me make sure that I get this done, because otherwise the platform has everything to make you stay. And that's what they want. They want the eyes on the screen. They want you to stay. It's just like any other platform, right? It wants you there. It wants you to stay. So you have to be the one who tries, to stay in control, not just of the time you spend there, but also your energy as an introvert.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you set your focus and your intentionality before you go into what you were doing, like you were talking about, because then we can protect and have our set boundaries so that we have energy left over to do other things. And I find too on LinkedIn, like, content lasts longer. It's not in every day needing to produce. I know that posts from weeks ago still get views and engagement because it lasts longer, which really is great for us as introverts, because then we can have our focus, repurpose the content that does well, maybe to other platforms, and really focus on how we want to engage with our audience. And so what is a recommendation for you to maybe find some of your audience? How do you go about, because I know there's many different ways to search for people and find your audience on LinkedIn, but what are a couple of ways that you really enjoy?
So if you are a business owner, because I know a lot of the people listening or watching, they might have a business. So who are the people you're trying to reach on LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn, you are going to have people also, like in B2B, also, let's say, if you are an SEO, coach, or, somebody who works with SEO and you are offering that kind of service, who are the people? Are you offering them to, like, what kind of business owners would be the people that you're offering that service to? Would it be for people who are coaches, for people who maybe have, your SEO, but like your thing is optimizing blogs? Do you want to work with people who actually have blogs? So it's important to figure it out that first. And then, of course, there's the search bar where you can type, different keywords. LinkedIn's all about keywords. So that's kind of how it's a way to find people. Another way, I will say, that works really well for me, I do like polls on LinkedIn. And, I see the people responding, especially like if I do, let's say, something related to job search or introverts. That's another way that, you can see, oh, okay, maybe this person might need my service. And then it's up to you to figure out the way that you want to reach out to them. I will say, don't pitch slap people, because LinkedIn is becoming a place where people don't want to hang out very much because of the pitches that they get all the time. I get pitches every single day. And it's really hard sometimes to even look at my inbox because of that. But I feel like just try to connect. Just ask them, for example, oh, I saw that you interacted with my post. What about, something that I wrote that made you interact? Are you facing, any issues? What's going on? That's kind of how you start conversations. And I would say, and I know you, Amber, you also talk about conversations, right? That's a way to build. And I'm all about building relationships with people, because I think the genuine relationship building for me as an introvert works a million times better than trying to pitch slap people and just say, hey, I have this. Are you interested? And I feel like to me that doesn't work. I don't buy anything that way. And I feel like for a lot of introverts, they want to be understood. They want to make sure that they can have a conversation, that you are open to listening, because I know this is one of our traits, right? We are good listeners. We want to listen to other people. So I feel like polls sometimes is a way for me, because, when I talk about introverts, anyone can be an introvert. I'm not targeting CEOs, for example. I'm not targeting marketers, for example. I'm talking about people who are introverts like us. But if you have a business, maybe you can use the search bar, and do a search and try to figure it out. If you see people who list, what you're looking for, the people that you want to attract, and then see if they post, figure it out, how you can interact with them, or you can also send them a direct message and just begin a conversation that way. I think these are some of the easy ways, in a way that you're not exposing yourself too much. You're not like pitching people, I would say. But yeah, I feel like trying to figure it out before you even go on the platform, who are your target audience, is very helpful, because the work that I do, everything I do when I create a profile is very targeted to a specific job, to a specific, sometimes if the person has a specific industry, we are targeting that, because the way LinkedIn works, and something that I want to make very clear to the audience, is everything on LinkedIn is keywords. LinkedIn, among a million things that it is, because it is a search engine, meaning if you Google yourself, you're likely going to be LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn profile is one of the first things that are going to show up, on the search. But it's also a huge database. So the keywords have to kind of be inside that database, and that's kind of how you find people. So as you type in the search, see what kind of people come up. If you are targeting people in specific industries, or like I said, founders, CEOs, this is kind of a way, I would say, to try to find the people and see, what about their profile that you can see right away that you might be able to help them? Do they have a website? Can you check out their website? If you offer, let's say, a website, service, you can right there look at their website and see if what you have to offer would be beneficial to them. So those are like some of the ways, I would say, using keywords to try to find people. Also content, like I said, see the people who interact. And when I say interact, I'm not saying, because a lot of times people don't necessarily want to comment, depending, like a lot of my people, they're job seekers. They might have a job right now, so they don't want to be exposing themselves, especially if they are introverts. But they might put like a like, or something along those lines. And that's another way that you can start like looking at the people. So I will say, if you have a business and you're trying to find people, look at those interactions, look at the kind of engagement. That could be a way to try to find the people that are, engaging or liking your content. And, these are some of the ways, and you can also see views. The people who are viewing your profile, there are ways to see that, who are the people coming to my profile. And that's what I'm saying. Instead of spending so much time on the platform, like just like on your feed, just like scrolling away, these are some of the strategies that I feel like, if you're a business owner, that's a way that you can spend more time finding clients instead of just like engaging away with content that might not even be something that might help you,
Yeah, I really like the idea of doing a poll and really engaging your audience, because you're kind of doing numerous things at once with minimal effort.
Yeah.
And that I really enjoy, because then you get to see everything and analyze all of that data that's right in front of you. And yes, a LinkedIn is absolutely keywords. Everything needs to be keywords. Your content, your entire profile, everything needs to be keywords. And that is the biggest thing, is do your keyword research for LinkedIn and put that into your profile.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I do, with my clients. I mean, whenever they tell me, okay, I'm in marketing, I want this kind of job titles, I want this kind of role, maybe they have an industry, I optimize the entire profile with keywords specifically for what they're looking for, because my goal is that, recruiters are on the platform every day, all the time. Either they use LinkedIn Recruiter, which is a separate thing that recruiters use, also part of LinkedIn, or they just go on LinkedIn. Let's say you apply for a job and you have like your LinkedIn profile in the resume, they are going to click to see, if the resume that they have, the profile matches, or if you are on LinkedIn talking something completely different, but you send a resume for like the position they have open. So it's like they are trying to cross information, like, and like try to understand who you are as a candidate before they even call you. So I feel like having a profile these days, and I will say not just like a static profile that you never do anything with it, it's not an option anymore. It's more like you need to have an optimized profile. It's speaking to the roles that you want, like, and also profile forward. When I say that, is a profile for the jobs you want, not the past jobs you had, the profile that will target the positions that you want. Because the goal is you want to make sure that, recruiters come to your profile. Because these days, whenever they post a job, within hours, they get hundreds of applications. And going through everything is way too much. It's too much time, it's overwhelming. So sometimes they have roles that they haven't even posted, but they might go on LinkedIn and do like a, sourcing. They try to find candidates before they even post a role. And that's how they might reach out to people, and say, hey, I look at your profile. I have a role that I'm about to post and you would be a good candidate. Can we schedule a time to talk? That's usually how it works. And it has worked for, my clients. And that's always my goal when I'm optimizing a profile.
I really love that you can optimize it that well. And I think that is once again, that focus that we need to have of that is what our goal is. And even if you're a business owner, take that tip, because your clients are looking at you at different platforms, because you might say different things on different platforms. You might be active, or maybe they're ditching Instagram and they're heading over to LinkedIn. And are you there?
Yeah.
And it's not about, posting every day, but having active posts and knowing that you are active on that platform and that you're there and you're answering messages. But, that inbox gets full, and it gets full of spam. And so the best way to stand out is really to be more authentic and have that conversation that is like going deeper. Maybe it's something that you see on, actually read profiles, and read content so that you can have something to talk about.
No, that's actually a great way when you reach out to somebody. I mean, that to me, like, I can tell you immediately when I get like an AI message or a blast message from somebody. It's like just some random thing. They never read my profile. They don't know what I'm about. And they just say like vague words. So that to me, I don't even respond to it because, I don't need to. But I feel like if your goal is to reach out to your audience as a business owner, or, reach out to somebody in your industry. I have a lot of friends in my industry, and it's just amazing how you can just reach out to people, have a conversation, have a coffee chat, and I know you're all about that, the conversation, and all of that. And I feel like LinkedIn can be a great place to even meet people, even if you are B2B, like, who are the other people in the industry? How are they doing? Do you guys have anything? Can you collaborate? These are all the things that you can do as well on the platform. And I feel like the way it works, there's the DMs. You always can reach out to people or engage with their content. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be on video if you don't want to. A lot of, sometimes a lot of people do is just post text posts. They don't even put images or anything like that. And that's a way, to use the platform as well. You don't need, it's not I mean, yeah, you can put images, you can put videos, you can put carousels, you can put like, all sorts of content, but you choose what you want. It's not like, let's say Instagram, you have to put an image, you have to put a video, you have to put something like that. And in LinkedIn, not necessarily. There is a push for videos these days, but like it doesn't mean anything because the text posts are still doing really, really well. So yeah, I feel like there are different ways to interact. And I also feel like do what works for you. A lot of my clients, they don't want to post they don't want to post open to work, like, and put that green banner in their profile. And I have seen this even for business owners. Sometimes they put that green banner thinking that they're going to attract clients that way. And I will say, no, that banner is for people searching for a job who, let's say they are in between jobs right now. They don't have a job. So they just want to really, let everybody know that they are looking for work. And I have seen that banner work really well for people. So I have strategies that I teach my clients on how to use that banner to their own advantage. But I will say, as a business owner, if your goal is to be there finding clients, the banner is not going to really help you. It might signal that you are looking for a corporate job instead of, you have a service. But that's the other thing too about LinkedIn. If you have a service, LinkedIn has an area in your profile that you can list your services. And that shows people right away that you are a business owner, you have a service, you are providing services, and people can leave reviews, and you can add photos, all these different things. So I feel like they make the platform, for B2B. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do. Like I said, you can, if you want, you can purchase Sales Navigator that helps you even more, to find your audience and clients and things like that. But it is a very B2B platform. Even though I am there, I am more B2C. I will say there's room for everyone.
There is. And it's such a wide berth platform. And I love how you get to choose your content that you want to post. Sometimes I just want to post text. The other day I posted a video, and I don't often do that on LinkedIn because I know my audience doesn't necessarily like the videos because that's my audience. But I did just to see. You get to learn what your community wants to see from you, and then you just post more of that type. And as introverts, we oftentimes want to read over listen because it is not as overwhelming. And so, there are so many different aspects to LinkedIn that I definitely agree that you need to be on LinkedIn. Whether you are searching for a corporate job, whether you have a business, whatever, you need to be on LinkedIn because that is where people go to search you, and that's where Google is putting you as well.
No, I agree. I do think as of now, as we speak, LinkedIn is the career website, right? So, and like I said, they are making the platform very B2B. So if you have a business, even if you don't feel like you want to engage on LinkedIn very much, I would still say have a profile, an optimized profile. Maybe you log in once or twice a week and you post something or you interact, you engage, because that's also a part of it. Engagement, right? Every single social media platform is all about engagement. And LinkedIn is no different, right? So if you want to attract people, you also have to give, like, meaning you also have to interact with their posts. You might have to, engage, because that's how the platform works. But I do think if you have a business, that is a place for you, because you might think, maybe I offer arts and crafts or something along those lines. Maybe nobody wants this, but like, your people are there. I love doing arts and crafts, and I've met people on LinkedIn for calligraphy, and I took a course on calligraphy, and that was like somebody I met on LinkedIn. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you might think they're not there, but they are there. it's just a matter of trying to figure out what would be those keywords that you can find people, start posting, see the people, how they engage, if they're saying something, if they're liking a post. You start those conversations, in the DMs, and see how the platform might work for you. And I will say, maybe in the beginning you don't see you don't see results or anything, but you have to give it time, because like any other social media platform out there, it changes all the time. And Amber, you said something earlier, and I would say LinkedIn has changed the algorithm, the whole feed again. So yes, I see posts, especially on weekends, from 3-4 weeks ago that are still showing up on my feed, because what LinkedIn is doing as we speak, as this podcast goes live, is all about what is relevant to you. So whatever is relevant to you based on what the algorithms have learned about you, that's the kind of content that they're going to put in front of you. If you interact with that content, they're going to put more of that content in front of you. If you don't interact, maybe they'll try something else, because again, the goal is to keep you there, right? So yes, this is happening. Posts from 2-3 weeks ago, they are showing this post again, especially on the weekend. So you don't need to be there every day posting 2 times a day to attract the people that you want to attract. But just try to engage, try to see who's there, what kind of keywords can you use, try different keywords, try and I will also say, if you are a business owner, have your profile as an individual. But if you have a company page, you can also create a company page and link to your profile as your current job. That's what I have for myself. Because one thing I learned on LinkedIn, people like doing business with people, no matter how big your company is, how many people you have on your team. Like you see, a lot of big names, let's say in the marketing space, they all have individual profiles on LinkedIn. Even though they have these gigantic companies with huge teams, they're there as themselves, not as their company, because they're still the face of their company. Even if they're more like a CEO role, not necessarily doing all the work, behind the scenes, they're still there. But they have their company profile, but they are posting content in their own page, like as themselves. So I think that's an important tip too.
Yeah, I think it's really important just to show up as you, and introverts, LinkedIn is a space for you.
Yeah.
It can be an absolute great place to be. I have increased my LinkedIn time and decreased my time on other platforms because I found it more enjoyable and are getting more results from it currently than other platforms. So definitely go on your LinkedIn, refresh. And so where can we connect with you to learn more about what you are doing right now and some of your services?
Sure. So I'm on LinkedIn, every day, because yes, I'm there either doing work for my clients, or I'm there, I post often and I engage often, but I do not spend hours every day. So LinkedIn is a place, and it's my name, Anna, and then my last name, Gaynor, Goehner. And also my website. My website, I have free resources. I send a newsletter every Thursday mornings with career job search tips, if that's what you're looking for. I also have my services on my website. So yeah, my website's another good place to go. So LinkedIn and my website would be great places to connect with me.
Perfect. I will have all of the links down in the show notes so you can go connect and send a message, check it out, get to know her, and engage. Just put a comment, send a message. It's going to be okay.
Yes, I promise. LinkedIn is a place for introverts. We just have to find a strategy that works for us and not do what all the loud voices are telling us to do, because then we feel like it's not authentic, or we feel like it's too much out of our comfort zone, so we don't even want to try.
Exactly. So do it your way. Like I always say, unmute yourself on LinkedIn. Just unmute yourself just a little bit and it'll be okay. So thank you so much for joining me today. And it was so great chat.
No, I love it. Thank you so much for having me.